Is peace to be identified with the ending of specific wars? Or is the ultimate goal of peace to establish and maintain a structure of international order? In 1973, when I first encountered the Nobel Prize institutionally, the word peace meant ending of the Vietnam War as a prelude to forging a set of workable relationships among the nuclear powers, which could bring the Cold War to an end and shepherd into existence an enduring peace. In time, these objectives were more or less achieved. The Vietnam War ended, first by agreement, ultimately by conquest. And the Cold War did come to an end. By the 1990s, a new structure of global peace seemed to be emerging. In America, there was talk of a peace dividend. In 1989, a widely discussed article titled its inquiry and whether we had arrived at the end of history with a question mark. When the book with the same title was published in 1992, the question mark had disappeared. Today, a quarter of a century after the end of the Cold War, what does peace signify? In one sense, it is the globalization of the European concept of world order. Europe's unique contribution to the concept of peace goes beyond an armistice between warring states to institutions and rules which moderate the fluctuations of history with structural requirements. No other civilization has undertaken a comparable enterprise. Three general principles formed it: international law, the balance of power, and the concept of sovereignty. The horrors of the 30 Years' War led the Dutch jurist diplomat Grotius to produce one of the world's most consequential books, The Law of War and Peace, inaugurated the concept of international law and set rules to the conduct of states. International law was reinforced by the evolution of the concept of the balance of power, which strove to maintain international order in such a way that a quest for hegemony always faced exorbitant risks. Legitimacy would curb the desire to upset the international system, and the balance of power would foil the capability to do it. By the turn of our century, a rules-based system had come into being to peoples everywhere. Its symbolic expression has been the UN General Assembly of over 190 sovereign nations.